Hello and welcome to Beautifully Balanced. Health and happiness aren't found in a bottle of prescription pills or with any fad diet. Instead, we can activate your body's natural ability to heal itself. And that is exactly what we're going to do together here. I'm Sarah Teeple, a women's integrative health practitioner, and I blend the ancient wisdom of Ayurveda with the modern science of functional medicine to help you heal your gut, rebalance your hormones, and calm anxiety naturally. Here I'll teach you the smart, sustainable, personalized, and fun way to use nutrition, herbs, and healthy lifestyle to feel vibrant, energized, and beautiful inside and out. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Hello, and welcome to Beautifully Balanced. I'm so excited that you're here today. Today we are talking about 4 tips to recover quickly after holiday overindulgence. So if you're listening to this in real time, we are right smack dab in the middle of the holidays. Thanksgiving just happened. Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, all the holiday parties and festivities, they're all just rolling in. And so this podcast episode is super relevant for right now in the calendar year, but it is also relevant for any time that you may have overindulged unintentionally or intentionally. Because sometimes we say, yep, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm going to have more of the wine, more of the desserts, more rich foods, more dairy, meat, possibly more foods cooked with inflammatory cooking oils or even like fried foods. So these are all things that when we're going to parties or having big family dinners, we are sometimes indulging in more than usual. And we often feel the repercussions of that. So all of us feel it. You know, it's so interesting and funny because even when you eat really healthily, like I do, sometimes, and of course, I'm not perfect though. Let me preface this. I'm absolutely not perfect, nor should I be, nor should anyone be. But when you eat really cleanly and healthily, often you feel it more when you indulge in and eat things that you don't normally eat. But also, if you're eating kind of a more standard American diet of more processed foods, more fast foods, or even if you're kind of 50-50, right? You've got your foot in both camps. I'm healthy when I can be, and I also am realistic and live a full life. So sometimes I'm eating these convenience foods. So you're going to feel it too. We all can sometimes feel that feeling of heaviness after eating. And we might expect a little heaviness, after our big Thanksgiving dinner. But sometimes that heaviness lasts, for the rest of the day and really can make us feel heavy, nauseous. It can trigger heartburn or acid reflux. It can slow down our bowels for the next day. And this brings me to how those symptoms can even really persist into the next day or the next several days. And often this holiday overindulgence kind of derails us, maybe for one day, maybe for a couple days, maybe for a couple months. So that is exactly why I wanted to bring you this episode and this topic right now, because you can turn it around quickly and easily with just a few simple, easy steps. So my 4 tips to recover quickly after food and drink overindulgence. So this topic is especially important for you if you have digestive issues, if you already struggle with constipation or sluggish bowels or IBS or more kind of loose urgent stools, if you have food sensitivities, if you're prone to GERD or acid reflux. This is especially important for you to get back on track quickly so you can feel better. It's also important if you have hormonal issues like really severe PMS, if you've got endometriosis, PCOS, if you're going through perimenopause or menopause and just having a rough time of it. When we are having gut issues that are exacerbated, metabolic issues, gut symptoms that are exacerbated, all of those hormonal issues are going to either literally get worse or they're just going to feel worse because you're feeling not as good in your body. So it's really important to keep healthy hormones to maintain a healthy gut and microbiome. We're going to talk all about that and just some easy ways to do it. It's also really important for you if you're overweight or if you're trying to lose weight. And this time of year can be a big trigger time. It can be a big slippery slope. There can be so much emphasis and even overemphasis on what you're eating and what you're not eating during the holidays, how much is on your plate, if you go back for seconds, if you have a dessert, if you have dessert seconds, especially if you've struggled with your weight for a long time, like I used to for decades. So I promise you, I understand this and I understand how it feels to be in that boat. And I want better for you. I want you to feel better. You deserve to feel better. And I know that the holidays can just be sometimes a slippery slope. And it's even put around us in the media. It's kind of put upon us that, everyone's going to gain, 8 to 10 pounds during November and December. And while I don't want to be obsessed with any numbers on the scale, I don't care about those numbers on the scale. I do care, and I want you to care about how you feel and about your relationship with your body. And I really just don't like to see this like marketing and messaging around hitting the food and drink super hard and overindulging and just feeling terrible and accepting that you're going to feel terrible and that you're going to gain weight because you deserve better than that. So here we want that balance. We want that beautiful balance, right? We want to strike a beautiful, happy medium with eating delicious foods and drinks with our family, or eating the foods, drinking the drinks. You guys know what I mean. But having that wonderful, nourishing, kind of luxurious, kind of, just very special experience with our families and with ourselves during the holidays. And we want to feel great afterwards. So getting back on track quickly is really important, mostly because you and your body deserve it and deserve to feel good. And that we don't need you to be wasting time with guilt or with these foods lists of good and bad foods, right? We've got like the green light, foods to just eat until you drop, and then the forbidden foods that you should never touch. And this black and white thinking really perpetuates what I call our toxic diet culture that really, really kind of compounds onto us having lots of body judgments and having this sort of unhealthy kind of push-pull, attraction aversion relationship with our body and with food. We don't need that. This is important around, I talked a little bit about weight gain around the holidays and about weighing yourself. And you know what? I just want you all to stop doing it. I'm going to talk to you like I talk to my clients for a minute. And I highly recommend that you donate your scales or you throw them away. I wish for you for the number on the scale to become a non-issue for you. And the way to start this, start yourself on the path of your weight being a non-issue, is to stop weighing yourself. It sounds almost too simple to be true, doesn't it? But the more we're tied to that number on the scale, the more we're in that black and white thinking that can be so self-judgmental. It can be so harmful for our self-esteem and for our confidence. So I'm just saying it. F your scale, throw it away. You don't need it anymore. We want you, instead of being tuned into that number on the scale, to be tuned in to your body, to be tuned in to your body's cues, your body's messages that it's sending you, so you can finally learn to trust your body, read its cues. Your body will then trust you more, knowing that it can kind of speak to you in, the sensations and the things that it is telling you, because you're going to be allies with your body. So we're no longer relying on an outside source to validate your worth or your sense of okayness. So get rid of the scales. Long-winded way to encourage you to get rid of your scales, because I love you. Without further ado, we are going to just jump right in. We're ready for it. We're going to jump right into our 4 tips to recover quickly after holiday overindulgence. As I said, this can be really beneficial for anytime. I use these tips often, just even after I've eaten out at a restaurant. We don't eat out at restaurants that often, partially just because we love to cook at home. As our diet has gotten cleaner and we're buying more organic, we're buying more local, we're kind of seeing that we can cook better food and we can cook more really deeply nourishing food than we can buy out at most restaurants. We do have a couple favorite restaurants in good old Louisville, Kentucky. One of them is Mayan Cafe. And any other Louisvillians, if you're listening to this, raise your hand if you love Mayan. They use a lot of wonderful local produce, locally raised meats, and just have exquisite taste in formulating delicious, yummy dishes. But so I use these 4 tips anytime I need them. Although, I've solved most of my gut issues. I used to be chronically constipated, used to have so much abdominal pain and bloating. I used to think I had all of these food sensitivities and allergies, and it turned out I just had some underlying gut issues that I needed to address by eating according to my dosha. And if you need to find out your dosha, you can find it out on Beautifully Balanced episode. I think it might be 8, but I'll find out and put it in the show notes. So you can find out your dosha and find out some tips on how to eat for your dosha. So whenever I don't eat for my dosha, whenever I eat out at a restaurant or God forbid, have some fried food, I'm feeling it the next day, you guys. I'm probably off for the rest of the night and then I'm probably feeling it the next day. And I want to get back on track quickly. Again, not for any self-judgment, but just because I want to feel good. So my first tip number 1, for getting your Agni or your digestive fire back on track. And Agni is this word for our gut health, our digestion, our metabolism. It kind of has everything to do with everything gut and metabolic in Ayurveda. So often after we've overeaten, it kind of suppresses our appetite and our metabolism because we've overly taxed our digestive system, and that just slows everything down. So this first tip is a beautiful tea that you can drink and make in order to restore your Agni, in order to reboot your metabolism, reboot good digestion, kindle that appetite again. And yes, we want to kindle and reignite your appetite. A good appetite is a symbol of good metabolism and healthy digestion. So when I say appetite, I mean this genuine stomach hunger, that you feel hungry in your stomach, like your body is ready for food. Not that you feel munchy, not that you're having sugar cravings. That's not an appetite. But we want to have a good appetite. And I love to specify this and to talk especially to women about this because we have been trained, ladies, to be afraid of our appetite. We've been trained to suppress our appetite. We've been trained to ignore our appetite. And that is basically like telling our body to shut up and telling our metabolism to slow down, neither of which do we want to do. So tip number 1 for getting your Agni, your metabolism, digestion back on track, drink some yummy ginger tea. Ginger tea is warming. It is kind of reheating to the digestive system. It has the ability to burn toxins. It has the ability to kind of metabolize away excess mucus. So if you've eaten a lot of dairy in your last meal and that's leaving you heavy, if you've had more cheese than usual or more ice cream or cheesecake or something like that, especially guys, cold dairy can really slow down your digestion. But ginger tea can really bring it back. So ginger tea is wonderful, enjoyed after a meal. I even love to have it maybe with my Thanksgiving or Christmas dessert to prevent that feeling of heaviness after eating. But, let's say it's later in the night, you're feeling heavy, you're feeling kind of nauseous, ginger tea, or even the next day in order to reignite your appetite for breakfast, a little bit of ginger tea when you first wake up or ginger tea between meals. Okay. Basically, there's never a wrong time to have ginger tea unless you're suffering from lots of acid reflux. Then you don't need that extra heating. You don't need that ginger tea. But if you've got the heaviness in your stomach, if you've got the bloat, if you feel like your bowels have slowed down, if you're just feeling nauseous, ginger tea is wonderful. And you can either make your own, just chopping up some fresh ginger and boiling it in water, or I absolutely love the brand Traditional Medicinals teas. Those are, can be found in most grocery stores now, but certainly at co-ops, certainly online. And I just love their formulations. They're all organic, and basically it's a line of herbal teas crafted by an herbalist named Rosemary Gladstar, and she is kind of like one of the senior Western female herbalists. She's wonderful. All right, so tip number 1, ginger tea. Any old time. Great after a meal, great before a meal. Ginger tea, ladies and gentlemen. Get it, enjoy it. Tip number 2. So this tip is mostly for that next day. So I know for me, gosh, we ate out at a restaurant and it just did not agree with me. I felt so heavy the next day. I had some fried chicken, you guys. It was gluten-free, but whatever. It just did not sit well with me. And I felt so heavy all the next day. Like my appetite just wouldn't come back. So, of course, I had some ginger tea, but I also upped the ante a little by having some apple cider vinegar prior to meals. So diluted, people, diluted. We must dilute our ACV. ACV stands for apple cider vinegar. So first you want to buy the best apple cider vinegar. I love Bragg brand, Bragg, can be found at any co-op, any health food store, online, most grocery stores. But it's got something in it called the mother, which is really kind of hilarious. But basically it's a fermented apple cider. So it's got naturally occurring probiotics, and the mother basically means that it's got this kind of probiotic culture in it. It's unfiltered, so it's going to be a little cloudier than like a clear apple cider vinegar. What you want to do is do about a half a teaspoon or 1 teaspoon in 1 to 2 ounces of room temperature water directly prior to a meal. And what this does is it supports your production of stomach acid, and it almost kind of acts as stomach acid. So often after a heavy meal, we've utilized all of our stomach acid and then some, kind of all our reserves. And then sometimes the next day, our stomach has a little bit of a rough time. It's a little bit challenged in producing sufficient stomach acid. This is where the ACV, apple cider vinegar, can really come in handy. Again, though, if you're really prone to heartburn, you want to do this kind of sparingly because you might be overproducing stomach acid if you have a lot of heartburn. Also, though, you could be having heartburn because you're underproducing stomach acid. And quick tip, the way to find that out, if your heartburn is due to over or underproduction of stomach acid, is if you take some apple cider vinegar prior to the meal and you do not get heartburn after the meal, then you know that your heartburn was due to actual underproduction of stomach acid. On the contrary, if you take the ACV, the heartburn gets worse, is overproduction. If you think it's overproduction, instead you can take a little bit of baking soda with some water before a meal, and that'll help you produce a little less stomach acid. So anyway, number 2, apple cider vinegar prior to meals. And you really should only need to do this, maybe for 1 or 2 meals the next day. If you're having to do it every single meal, that's okay. But you might want to talk to your doctor about that. That might mean you have some chronic stomach acid underproduction. So any of these digestive remedies, we want to utilize these natural remedies, but we also want to pause and see what our body's telling us during our utilization of these natural strategies, right? Because even though we're doing these things, these natural things, we're still affecting our physiology. And if we're having to affect our physiology every single time we eat, again, it's not a bad thing, but it's just a message. And so we want to, journal about that a little. Maybe talk to your health counselor like me. Make sure that you're following up on these things. And I help clients with actual chronic digestive issues all the time, 24/7. There are absolutely ways to solve these things, and giving you a little snippet of that with this podcast episode about our 4 tips. So tip number 3 of 4 is discontinue your supplements for a couple days until your appetites return to normal. So if you have, life-saving medication, or if you've got, like a wicked sinus infection and you're on antibiotics, we don't want you stopping those things. Take those things as normal and as prescribed. But things like your multivitamin, any other supplements, herbs that you might be taking that are not, your life is not contingent upon them. Just stop them for a few days until your agni or your appetite returns to normal. And this is because supplements, and I know lots of people that are taking, handfuls of supplements every day. You're on way too many supplements if this is you. Let's talk. Please book a free chat with me if this is you. But these supplements are something that our body has to digest. So, in general, if you have sluggish bowels, if you feel a lot of heaviness after eating, if you're gaining a lot of weight or overweight, you probably have sluggish metabolism and you are not even digesting all these supplements. So, you certainly don't need to take them right now after you've overindulged, in your holiday meal, and when your digestion is slowed down, but you might not need to take that many things in general. And again, if this is you and if you want to explore this, I highly encourage you to do so and book a free chat with me. You can find me at sarahteeple.com. There's just a button that says work with me, book a free chat. So if though, regarding the supplements, if there are herbs or supplements you really still want to take, some of my clients love passion flower for help with their sleep at night or help with feeling anxious. And you can take these things in tincture format or a liquid format instead of a pill. It's less for your body to digest. So that is an option for you as well. You might want to look into some tinctures. However, if this is just one day, the day after Thanksgiving or the day after Christmas or the day after having some special birthday dinner or holiday party, you don't necessarily need to switch all your herbs and supplements to tincture format just for these times. But I want to tell you a little bit about that because I want you to understand how not only how your body digests food, but how your body digests herbs and supplements. All right, tip number 4, eat less for a day. This should actually probably be tip number 1. But when your digestion feels slow and sluggish, it's really at its very core, your body telling you, all right, I'm slowing things down a little. I was overly burdened last night or yesterday. I just need a break. I just need a break. It's like your body, your digestive system asking you to give it a rest. So the best thing you can do for it is to give it a rest. I would still suggest eating 3 meals a day. So, giving your digestive system a rest doesn't mean fasting all day. Often, because when we do that, then often we'll fast for the first part of the day, then be ravenously hungry by dinner time, and then eat a big dinner. And then that will actually perpetuate the issue. You'll go to bed with a full stomach and you'll feel heavy, sluggish, nauseous the next day as well. So, eat a little bit less, but still have your 3 healthy, but maybe smaller meals a day. So, those were our 4 tips to recover quickly after holiday overindulgence or after just any time that you've hit it a little harder than you usually do. I hope that this episode made you feel supported, made you feel seen and heard and loved, and encouraged you to enjoy your food, enjoy your drink, enjoy your family, enjoy your holidays, or any time of year that you were listening to this. And it made you feel excited that you can support your body and yourself while you're doing this. So it's not a choice of having fun over the holidays or being healthy. It's completely both things. Both can coexist. And that is what we do. That is what being beautifully balanced means. So thank you so much for being here with me today. If you would like to connect more with me, I would absolutely love to hear from you. I love to hear what you're working on. So please find me at sarahteeple.com and book a free holistic chat and tell me what you're working on. Let's connect and talk over the holidays. And actually, I'm excited also to share that I'm opening the doors for my Beautifully Balanced program for clients starting in January. I have a limited number of spots, and we have really made the Beautifully Balanced program even more exciting effective, impeccable with the marriage of Ayurveda and more functional lab testing. So we're doing hair tissue mineral analysis testing and dried urine hormone testing and helping people solve digestive issues, hormonal issues, anxiety, and overwhelm. We're getting crazy, wonderful results. It's changing lives, and I'm so excited to do this with you. So book a free chat with me. Tell me what you're working on. Maybe we'll see if you're a great fit for the program, and maybe it's time for you to change your life. And I'm here to help you. So have great holidays and let's keep in touch. I will see you next time on Beautifully Balanced. Until then, I'm sending you so much love. See you next time. Thank you for being here with me today. Remember, you can feel your best naturally. Just try one new thing a week that you learn here and watch your body and life transform. And if you're ready to take this to the next level, learn your dosha, get your personalized holistic plan, and live beautifully balanced, you've got to come see me at sarahteeple.com. That's SARAHTEEPLE.com. There you can learn about how to work with me one-on-one or book a free holistic chat and just tell me what you're working on. I love to hear from you and help you live your best life. So until next time, be well. Oh, and if you love this conversation, please rate and review our podcast. That really helps more people find natural healthcare options. Thanks again, and see you soon.